What's up, guys? Jeff here. We are back with a new segment. This episode is the debut of Just Thoughts. This segment is all about us individually speaking what's on our minds about any subject we choose. We see this as an opportunity for us to express our feelings, ideas, and give some hopefully colorful commentary on life and allow our listeners to get to know more about us and how we think. On this episode, Darius shares his thoughts on airline travel.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Darius, one fourth of the Just Draws podcast. So I just wanted to take some time today and just kind of talk to you and give my just thoughts on airline travel. So it's February. We're coming off of the holiday season. And I know there were a lot of people who took trips to visit family and friends, especially those of us who aren't married or those of us who don't have kids of our own. Now, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy traveling, but there are some things, in the words of Family Guy's Peter Griffin, that really grind my gears related to travel, and specifically related to travel when I have to fly. So let's get into it. Number one, baggage and associated fees. Y'all, this shit is ridiculous. On some airlines, specifically the budget ones, baggage fees tend to be more than the price of the ticket. So if you don't pay 2 months in advance, you end up having to pay close to $100 the closer you get to the gate or the date, excuse me. You remember when like bags used to be about $25 to $35 across the board? Like it didn't matter which airline you flew, it was $25 or $25 to $35. Like, where's the FCC in this? Why can't y'all regulate this shit? On top of that, some airlines, specifically the budget airlines, don't let you take anything on the plane except for a quote personal item. So this personal item can either be a backpack or it could be a purse or a merce for the guys. Don't buy some of that real expensive ass food at the airport, because if you do that, that sometimes counts as a separate item, or you have to consolidate that into the backpack, the purse, or the merce. And if that personal item doesn't fit into that little ridiculously small compartment that's right there by the gate, which I swear they change the size of periodically, they get to charge you even more. Even though that is a racket and they are straight up fundraising for that, it is kind of funny though to watch people who don't know the rules of these budget airlines, to watch them try to stuff their rolling suitcase or that big ass duffel bag into that small compartment, and then to watch the frustration on their face when they know that they got to pay that almost $100 because their bag won't fit. Good times, good times. Number two, boarding. So listen, when you buy your ticket, you're usually given a boarding zone and a seat number. So when the gate agent comes on the intercom and says, "Welcome to flight 7534 with service to Timbuktu. We're about to start our pre-boarding process. Any people in wheelchairs or families with small children who need a bit more time to board are welcome to line up." So if you don't fit into any of those categories, don't get your anxious ass up. Ma'am, sir, your ticket says zone 7. So we still have to go through pre-boarding, preferred customers, and 6 other zones before you need to even stand up and head towards the door. So I invite you to sit your ass down. The other thing that zone 7ers tend to do is they're standing in the way of people who are supposed to get on the flight or people who have been asked to get on the flight. Move out of the way, relax, chill out. If you bought a ticket, you're confirmed. If you have a seat number, all of that shit, you're confirmed. Chill out. You're going to get on the plane. 3, seating. So once people have gotten on the plane and they put that heavy ass roller bag in the overhead compartment that they could barely lift because they don't really work out, don't proceed to sit in the aisle seat. Put on your seatbelt, tighten that shit, lay back, and then close your eyes, knowing that you have 2 other people who have to get into that row. So somebody tell me what this shit is all about. Then when the person who has the window or the middle slash bitch seat comes to the row to get into their seat, that person who sat down in the aisle seat, put on the seatbelt, tightened that shit, laid back and closed their eyes, gets an attitude because their comfort was disturbed. Really though? Because I'm so confrontational, sometimes I've actually asked the person who got the attitude if they thought that no one was going to take those seats. I asked them if they purchased the whole row. I mean, I feel like this. If your comfort was disturbed by me asking you to get up so that I can get into the seat that I actually paid for, I'm going to make sure that it's disturbed for as much of the trip as I can make it. Number 4, snacks. When we get snacks without having to pay for them, let's stop being greedy as fuck. Getting the entire can of soda is a courtesy, or pop, depending on where you are regionally. So soda or pop. But getting that entire can is a courtesy. It's not a requirement or an obligation. If you wanted a whole can of soda, you should have paid the $4 that everybody else paid in the airport convenience store or gift shop for that can of soda or that juice. And here's what I think is really funny. And I paid attention to this since I've been flying, but have you all noticed how people on the plane really savor that plastic cup of juice or that plastic cup of ginger ale, because they don't buy ginger ale any other time? They wait until they get ready to fly and then they ask for ginger ale. But they savor it and they act like they're some professional wine taster. They swirl it around in the cup. They sip it. Their motherfucking pinkies are up. And they're looking out the window like someone is filming them for some sort of Super Bowl commercial. Number 5, deplaning. Once we've officially landed and we're taxiing to the gate, one thing that I always hear is the click clack of people taking off their seatbelts. Now, real talk, I kind of feel you on this one, but relax. Like, we haven't even gotten to the gate yet. Once we get to the gate, though, the thing that bothers me is how everybody stands up and just floods the aisles. If you need to stretch, I get it. If it's been a long flight, makes sense. I mean, I'm 6'3", and more often than not, if I don't get an aisle seat or an exit row, those seats are kind of cramped. But if I'm in the middle or the back of the plane, I'm not going to try to cut in front of people who are seated in front of me to get off. That bothers me when people do that. So if you're 2 seats behind me and I haven't even stood up yet and you're standing up, but you're trying to rush to get off the plane, chill out. It's different if you have a connecting flight and we're running late. Completely different story there. But usually the flight attendants will ask everyone who is not connecting or who have later connections to let people who have those connecting flights get off. If you're at your final destination, just relax and let everybody else get to where they're going. 6, baggage claim and pickup. When we get to baggage claim and you see that I have found a nice position by the turnstile that's not obstructing anyone else, don't bring your ass over, stand in front of me, and block my unobstructed view of getting my bag. Your bag is going to come out, hopefully. And you don't have to stand in front of me. You don't have to stand at this particular spot. So going back to my confrontational nature, I'm such a bully sometimes that I literally will post up and I won't move. So as they walk over to me and they're standing there, it's almost like they're trying to box me out of my space. So I stand right there and I don't move. If they hit me with their personal item or their roller bag, I stand there and I don't move. Once they see or get the feeling that I'm not going to move, they tend to move on. They tend to go somewhere else. So mission accomplished. Once you've picked up your bag, though, and you get outside to be picked up, once your ride gets there, get your stuff into the car or truck or van, whatever it is, jump in and keep it moving. You can get that hug, you can get that tongued down kiss, and you can get those flowers at the crib. If you're elderly, I have a little bit more compassion for you because, you sometimes can't move that fast. I'm completely fine with that. I get it. But for everyone else that's able-bodied, let's go. I mean, you don't have to hold that person right there. It doesn't have to be a Folgers coffee moment. It doesn't have to be that Super Bowl, the second part of that Super Bowl commercial that you were being filmed for on the plane while you were sipping that plastic cup of juice or that plastic cup of ginger ale. Let's go. My ride is trying to pull up or my Uber is trying to pull up so that I can get my stuff in the car and I can go. So let's be courteous in that respect, people. Get the fuck on. Get home. You got plenty of time to engage with the person who has to hug you and has to kiss you and has to give you flowers and teddy bears and all this other stuff. You got plenty of time to do all of that at the crib or even in the car. Just do it there. So I hope that you enjoyed, and I greatly appreciate y'all for listening to my just thoughts about airline travel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Just Draws. See y'all next time.